Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos and what they're all about? Well, Let's Build video, I take a model kit and I'll show you guys how to put it together. If there's any areas of concern on the sprue in terms of chains or pipes or anything like that, if there's anything like a pin on a piece that you're taking off that looks like it shouldn't be there but it actually should, I'll let you guys know. If there's anything numbered on the instruction on the sprue differently to the instructions, again, I point out to you, let you know, this is the piece you need, and even though this is what the number is. If you suffer with dyslexia or struggle with instructions in general, this is a visual way to help you. If you're interested for models, in models for an army you have, or you're thinking of getting, and not sure how difficult they are to build, this is a visual aid to show you how simple they are to build. These Let's Build videos are designed to help everyone of any age or any skill level. So for all my regulars here, guys, I put love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so you would have seen from the thumbnail, I'm building a Kahl, K-A-H-L, I hope I pronounced that right, for the Leagues of Votann, and this is from the Combat Patrol magazine. So before we start getting into anything, let's go through tools needed as always. Mold-line scraper, most useful part of our kit. Well, not most useful, but it's a useful part of our kit. If you don't want to use a mold-line scraper and you're using like a Stanley blade or some sort of sharp tool or a surgical blade, just be careful because it's sharp. Let everyone in the house know you're using it so nobody scares you by accident. Make sure there's no cats around or no little hands around. Clippers, these are the most useful part of our tools. Take models off the bits, this bit's off the sprue, sorry. Now, I do have sanding sponge. For those who don't know what this is, it's basically sponge with sandpaper either side. It's very flexible and very handy for getting into bits and pieces. And when you're finished building a model, this is also very handy for, oh, I've missed this mold line or I've missed that mold line, come in and clean it up. It's a plastic kit, so plastic glue. I do have super glue to hand just in case, but there's never really any need for super glue doing plastic apart from demonettes come to mind. Okay, so before we start getting into it, what I always do for everyone new, I go through the sprue and ascertain what's what. Because a good amount of the time there'll be stuff on here that's extras and you don't need them, but you start panicking thinking, oh, there's all this going on. So let's have a look at the base. This looks like some sort of top piece for his to go on top of him. Back of the body, there's a sword arm, looks like a power weapon. That looks like a piece of the base. There's the front of the body. I've got 3 different heads. This is exactly what I mean. Okay, so you can have, my guess is you can have any one of these heads. There's an axe arm, so it's like a power axe. There's this piece here. This looks like it's part of his clothing to go along here or that side or something like that. Got this piece here, which I'm not sure what it is. There could be parts of this. It looks very similar. Looks like a hand. No, looks like something. I'll figure out what that is anyway. The shoulder pad looks like a magazine for a gun. Yeah. There's an arm for his Volkite disintegrator. It's got a power fist. So straight off, and what I'm guessing is you can have the power fist, or the axe, or the sword. It looks like a stormbower, or their version of a stormbower, which probably means this goes with that. So again, you would have the option for either gun, I would say. Looks like a backpack. There's some piping, amazing, lovely. This piece here looks like it's part of the rock. So apart from the heads and the weapon, the melee weapons and 2 guns, should be pretty straightforward. So the first piece needed, as always, the first piece needed is number 4, which is the front of the body. Number 5 and number 6, which are the legs. So I'm going to snip those off. The front body has to go this way, okay, and number 6 goes this side, and number 5 goes this side. Right, so this is very, very straightforward. So take number 4. This is number 6. There's a flat piece at the front here, and there's this shin guard piece that just slots in there like so. Okay. And the other side, number 5, exactly the same, that just slots in like so. Okay. But also these two, they slightly join. I think it's along this little straight bit at the bottom, something like that. Okay, but when they go on, they'll be lined up properly. So I'm going to glue those pieces on. So the next piece we need is number 7, which is the back of the body. Very, very straightforward. So this piece just slots in there. You can see where the circle, see where the circles meet. It goes in there like so. Now if there is a join line, as you can see, there's a little join line there. Just run the excess glue from the end of the pin and the glue into it. Seal that out. So the next piece that we need is number 8, which is this piece here. Okay, which is next to the gun. So this piece is very, very straightforward as well. Number 8. So we want it so the sword, this dagger is that side. And this is basically slots in. What does someone do on camera now? There. No, pulled it back out. Just slots in over the top, like so. Okay. Again, there's a horrible little join line which we'll sort out in a second. So you can see the arm. There's a join line at the top that we need to get rid of as well. So the next piece we need is number 9, which is backpack. Right, very straightforward. So it just slots into that square hole in the back, like so. Right, so what we need next is number 11, which is this arm here, and number 17, which is his Broadcraft disintegrator. Right, so when taking the gun off, be careful with this little pipe here, because it is still needed. Now, we've got this little flat bit here. That's what we want. You can see there's a little flat bit there that just slots into there, and the pipe goes onto that little pip hanging out the bottom there. So I'm going to glue it into place, and then it glues onto this flat piece of the model here. Okay, so this arm will glue into there. Okay, so I'm going to glue it into place, and then come back to you for the next piece. Okay, so the next bit we need is number 10, which is this annoying pipe, which looks pretty straightforward to go on. Hopefully it is. I thought it would go into the power fist, but it doesn't, because the power fist has its own little coil already going there. This is where sanding sponge comes into effect. So you want to hold it something like this, so you're supporting it, and then just run it over the top, because it can't break because you're holding it in your fingers. What you do then is turn it around, pinch it again, and just keep doing it, because there will be an annoying mold line along that little ridge there, going all the way down and around. Once you've done that and you're happy with that, you take it. So this piece here, so there's one thin piece and there's another piece with a little chunky bit at the back there. That slots in. So the front piece goes in a little hole there, and the back piece then slots in back there, like so. So I'm going to glue it into place, and then I'll come back to you for the next piece. Right, so the instructions are telling me it's number 24, which is this little piece here. I was right, it's part of the hand. And number 23, which is the power fist. I'm not going to go with that, even though it's a very cool piece. But 24 just slots into there. That little funny little groove at the top. And then that arm, that piece there, glues into this side. Okay. Now I'm not going to go with that. I'm actually going to go with the power axe, because I think he looks cooler, and he's just, you know, he's a space dwarf basically. So I'm going to go with the axe. Again, there's nothing fancy that with this. It just flat piece goes into the side there, and it's done. And so the next thing it's telling us is the heads. Now the instructions are only telling me you got a choice between 2 heads, but there's actually 3 heads here. So the numbers are 12 and 13. So it's saying 12 or 13, but there's 14 there as well. I don't know why. But this is probably the one I'm going to go with, because in the painting part of the instructions, he is this is all painted gold and looks really cool. The beard isn't like real, it's part of the armor mask. This guy looks like you can see the eyebrow ridges, which is still very cool. And this has a nice little beard. Eyebrow ridges are very cool. So I'm going to go with this guy. It's very straightforward. Put a bit of glue on the underneath, and a little ball joint, and it just slots in there like so. In position head anyway. I think looking at the axe, I think it's going to be the best way. I like that. Next piece it's saying I need is number 20, which is this shoulder pad here. Right, so here it is. The instructions aren't very clear. I think it's meant to go that way. I think it's, yeah. Oh yeah, look, makes more sense now, because there's a flat edge at the bottom here. And there's a little, like a little raised bit at the top there. That just slots on this shoulder here. Like, it goes on there, like a normal Space Marine one. So I'm going to glue it into place. There's a bit of glue on there. I can actually just, it'd be very easy to do. Right, so the next piece it's telling me is number 16, which is this other piece here. I presume this piece as well could go there instead. If you look at this piece, you can see there's like a little plinth at the bottom here, underneath, yeah? My guess is it would go on the backpack. Okay, so it's either side of it. But the one it's telling me, number 16, and I looked at it and I was like, wow, there's a little dragon head at the back on top of it. So that's the piece I'm going to go with. To show you where it goes on, it just sticks on like so. I think that's too far forward. I don't think it's meant to be touching his head. I think it's meant to be a bit further back. So I was off camera then, I do apologise. It's so not straight. But that's the beauty. Excuse me. That's the beauty of plastic glue. So if you're not happy with the way it looks, you still got playtime with it. I think that's absolutely savage looking. So now it's onto his base, which is going to be a bit of a pain in the backside, but it should be straightforward enough. So the first piece we need is number 1, which is this massive piece, and then number 2, which is this piece here. So this took me a few minutes to figure out. I was trying to pull it inside there, doesn't it? It just slots over the top like that. Okay, gives you a nice stonework. We'll leave that to dry for a moment. The next piece that we need is number 3, which is this piece here. Now when I clip and glue this on, I'll show you how it goes on, but if that piece is slightly off, because they all go together, it should just straighten everything up, which I don't think it's, I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. Well, this is very straightforward. So you've got this piece, there's a little triangle piece there, you can see there's a triangle piece there, there's the slots in there, so I'll just work it so it goes in. A little tiny gap here, so I'm just going to run a little bit of the excess glue off the nib along that. Right, so that's very straightforward, but then you have to glue it to the base. So all this little flat piece has to be glued down. Right, so when it's glued on, this is what it looks like. And you put some glue on his feet like I've done, and he just slides on there like so. Of course he doesn't want to stay. That is actually a savage model. I actually really like that. That is nice. Now, difficulty rating for this guy, I'd probably put him at maybe, I don't know, see, he's not quite a 2, but he's not a 3. Because there are a few pieces on there that, see, there's not really much that's annoying on him. It's actually pretty straightforward. I think the most annoying thing is putting the base together. And the reason I say that is, and this is me just nitpicking now, is when you're putting the 2 rock pieces together, number 1, number 2, you got to make sure there's no little pips of the sprue left on when you've clipped it away from the sprue, because it won't line up properly. I learned that when I built the Dark Master Be'lakor. But apart from that, everything else is very, very straightforward. The gun went on nice and easy. The pipe went in a lot easier than I thought it would do. The power fist went on, well, not sorry, the power fist would have gone on easy, but the power X went on just as easy. It's very, very straightforward model. Very, very straightforward. This goes back to what I said before, quite recently. The Games Workshop have really stepped up the way that they construct the model and making it a lot easier, you know, to put models together easier. So I'd give this guy probably, no, I'm actually going to go with a difficulty rating of 2. Because apart from making sure there's no pips on the little bits of rock underneath his feet, there was a couple of mold lines along his feet and stuff, but nothing too serious. It's very, very not difficult. It's very, very easy to build. It's not difficult at all. So massive thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel and seeing this for the first time, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube shares video more and more people, which makes this incredible community you guys grow even more. If you have a comment about this model, chuck on below as always, guys. If you want to support the channel even further, there is a join button below. Click on that and become a member to the channel. There are different tiers with different perks. I appreciate every single person that becomes a member of the channel. It helps me out greatly. So, like I said, comments below about this guy, what you think. One thing I'm actually going to say before I sign off, because this is power sword, an axe, and a fist, you can have 3 of them in your army. So you could build the first one like I have with the axe, then build the second one with the power fist, then build the third one with the power sword, and have all 3 of them in there with different combat weapons to lead different units. I'm not sure what units he can or can't lead. But yes, this is the start of my Leagues of Votann Army, which is going to be very interesting, I think. So guys, massive thank you for watching. Hit the buttons for me. Comments below as always. Until next time, take it easy.